My name is Mikkel Christensen. I'm from Denmark and I have a background in journalism. And right now I'm a video maker. What I am going to talk about today is an interactive documentary called The Slum Challenge. It's for everyone, but the primarily target group was young people between 13 and 18. Right now we are here in this wonderful city of Graz, a city where everything works, as Mr. Peter Brook put it yesterday at the City Hall. But I would like to take you on a small trip to a place, and this is the place Tondo, it's called. It's a slum area in the capital of Manila, and unlike here in Graz, this is a place where not everything works. Let me start out by introducing this boy. He's called Robbie, and he lives in Tondo. He faces a lot of challenges in his everyday life because life in slums can be hard, conditions are tough, and resources are small. But Robbie is not the only one in the world living in a slum. In fact, 1 out of every 7 people on the earth, on the planet, lives in a slum, and the number keeps on going up. Many of the things that we take for granted, there's something about the... Just go on. Okay. Many of the things that we take for granted, okay, there's a lot of, yeah. Is this another screen? This is because the screen it looks weird. Okay.
That's because it corresponds with the beamer.
No. Okay, how do I get it to correspond with this one? The beamer, is this the beamer?
It's just full. It's full screen now. I cannot do it.
Okay, this is better. Well, because of the urbanization, each month 5 million new people moves into the slums, and it's primarily in the third world countries like the Philippines. And as I said before, if the number keeps going up, by 2013, 2 billion people will live in the slums. And even though we don't see it here in our European and Western backyard, it's also a problem that we have to take part in due to the globalized world. So this is not just a challenge for Robbie, it's not just a challenge for the Philippines and the other third world countries. It's this slum challenge is a social issue and a global issue. In Denmark, the biggest dilemma for young people in the target group are more or less whether to choose between Instagram or Facebook, PlayStation or Xbox, or even Justin Bieber or what are they called? Yeah, One Direction. Therefore, it can be hard for the young target group to relate to the challenges and the dilemmas that most people faces in the slum, because it's so different and distant to their own life. Does anybody know this fellow? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, then I'll keep my prize. This is a Danish philosopher called Søren Kierkegaard, and he said, "Tell me something and I'll forget it. Show me something and I might remember it. Give me an experience and I'll never forget it." And that is what the Slum Challenge is about, giving people an experience of how life in the slums can be. Therefore, I have brought a little friend of mine all the way from Manila. This is Robbie, And this is just to make it clear to everyone what the Slum Challenge is about. You have to play the part as a boy in the slums and control him. Of course, not in an analog way, but in a digital way. Sound? Well, this is a small teaser. Slum Challenge. Yeah, that one. Can you dim the lights a bit?
Still no sound.
Still no sound. Okay, the sound won't come on, unfortunately. But let me proceed. So just to sum it all up while the video is still going on, the Slum Challenge is an online interactive documentary that uses gamification to drag the viewer into the storyline. Yeah. And back to the... Yeah, so it's online, and it's about embracing the media when it comes to storytelling. Instead of just being passive and observing as the story unfolds, you as the viewer has to be involved and engage with it at all times. And here you see our flowchartified script. So it consists of 55 unique sequences that has been put together in this forking path. And then after each sequence, you have to choose which way you want to go, just like the Choose Your Own Adventure books did it in the 90s, but this time in digital. And as you move along in the what's it called, the forking path, pop-up icons will appear, and you can dive into some other extra material about how conditions in the slum is. That could be an interview with the slum expert from the UN, or it could be a feature about garbage collectors, or some articles or fact box about the areas we're in. So our hope is that, or aim is that by putting in the viewer both media and story-wise in eye level with the slum, we hope to create more insight and understanding about how the Slum Challenge is, and thereby encourage the young people to take a stand to the social cohesion in the world. So we want you guys to stop sharing things like, I don't know, what's it called, Candy Crush and Farmville, and instead start sharing the Slum Challenge. That's it.
Thank you very much. The Slum Challenge, 22 short videos interactively under 54 videos, okay, in an interactive way in order to create awareness about how urbanization and slums are changing the world, because people migrate from rural areas into the cities where they hope to find employment and a better life. Two more questions, one from Christian Bauer.
One comment, one question. I'm very happy that we could see now the video, because I think this is wonderful. I have reviewed it and I liked it very much. I think that the point why we can ignore all this is because we don't know and we don't want to know. And seeing videos like this, or also maybe movies like Slumdog Millionaire, helps us getting more contact. The question is, how did you film? Isn't this a little bit, I don't know, going into a slum and being nice and filming? How did you do that?
Well,
Christian wants to know, how dangerous was it?
Yeah. Well, every time we met someone who lived in Manila, and when we told them that we came from Tondo, where we have been filming for 2 months, they would say, "Are you crazy?" or "Where's your weapon?" or stuff like that. But actually, we hooked up with a good team, so it was not really a problem for us. I felt that sometimes people were talking behind our backs, but I'm here now, and I still have my camera. So you just walked in? Yeah, kind of. We work with, cooperated with some organizations, of course. But more or less, yeah.
Okay, 1, 2 questions? Yes.
Sure. Yeah. I didn't quite get it. What is the challenge? Am I challenging my friends, or am I challenged to survive? Or, well, what's the challenge?
The Slum Challenge has 2 meanings. In the bigger picture, it's of course a challenge that we are getting more and that more and more people are moving in the slums. And that story we want to tell through this concrete challenge that you get as the boy, Robbie, where you wake up on the streets one day and get home to your family, and your aunt says you cannot live here because you have to earn money. Don't come back without earning some money. And that's the objective for you as a viewer throughout the story.
Okay, so there's a whole narrative frame to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I'm active with questions today. You're so young and you're created such a great thing already. So looking again into future, when you raise awareness of young people, what's your next step? Do you want to connect them to opportunities, how to act against these things? Or do you want to keep raising awareness about other things, other inequalities in the world? I'm just wondering what's your great next step is.
Well, I'm not sure what my next step is going to be. In this context with the European Youth Awards, this is much about business modeling, and this is not suitable for a business model. I don't think Mother Teresa had a business model as well. Not that I want to compare myself to her, but this has also been an artistic project for me. I have a new thing I want to try to tell a story about as well. It's also linked with the humanitarian questions. I'm not sure if I can do it yet, but I hope to.
Okay, let me turn the question around. How did you finance it?
By the Danish government.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mikael Christensen. Thank you.
Thank you.